In this lesson, we're going to work on what you just heard me play an example of. Put together this guitar arrangement that has kind of a red dirt, country, bluesy feel to it. And one of the main goals of this lesson is to give y'all practice switching back and forth between playing rhythm guitar and playing lead fills. You know, nice country sounding fill riffs in between the chords. So as we're working on these techniques, we're really going to focus on note combinations that will make your playing sound more country and bluegrass. By the way, you can also download the tablature for this guitar arrangement right below the video player here at countryguitaronline.com. So check that out. And whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to work on strumming first. And after that, we'll pull up the tablature for this guitar arrangement on the screen, and we'll learn the entire thing note for note. First, let me show you one of the main strumming ideas that we're going to be using throughout this arrangement. It'll sound something like this. So I'm playing a D major chord, basically. The only difference here is that we're not going to be pressing down our left middle finger. So just form the D major chord, but just put your pointer and ring fingers down where they normally would go. And you're not going to play that high E string. It's going to be open, but you're not going to play that at the moment. So right now what we got is our left middle finger, or our fretting hand, you know, the middle finger. We got that free and ready to do all these hammer-ons and then pull off, while we hold down the pointer and the ring fingers. So lets you do a lot of cool chord embellishments over the D chord. And technically this is a D5 chord when you play those two fingers and you don't play the first string. So D5, but I've written it as a D major chord in the tablature just to keep it simple. So anyways, what are we doing with the right hand? We were doing this strumming pattern. Pick, down, up, pick, hammer, down, up. Pick, down, up, pick, hammer, down, up. And the hammer is with the left middle on the 5th string, 3rd fret. Right there. So pick, down, up, pick, hammer, down, up, pick, strum, strum, pick, hammer, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum, pick, hammer, strum, strum. And when you do the strum strums, you're going to focus that strumming on the 3 strings right there. The 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, those inside strings. So try not to hit that high E string, and just really that up strum, you're basically going to catch that 2nd string. That's what you want to focus on. Up strum is catching the 2nd string. So pick, strum, strum, pick, hammer, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum, pick, hammer, strum, strum. You'll have to loosen up your right wrist a little bit and keep the grip on your pick really loose, real soft grip. So that's the main strumming pattern that we'll use today. So if you need to pause the video and work on that a bit, go ahead and pause the video and practice that, get it smoothed out. We'll look at some other strumming ideas later in the lesson as we work through the tablature, but for now, let's go ahead and start learning how to play this nice guitar arrangement. So here's the first line of the tablature. Let me play through it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's pretty straightforward. For this entire line, you are going to hold down your pointer and your ring fingers just where we were playing it for that D chord, that D5, remember? So leave those two fingers planted for this entire line, and you're just going to be doing some chord embellishment type of stuff with the left middle finger. So for the first measure on the screen, pick, down, up, pick, hammer, down, up. That's exactly the strumming pattern that we looked at a second ago. So that's the first measure. And then the second measure, it's similar but slightly different. Here's the second measure. And that's it. So pick, down, up, pull, off, pick. We're going to do this pull off with our left middle finger on the 4th string right there. So pick, pull off, and then land on the 5th string with your middle. So up to this point, we've got the first two measures. Then we're going to add on this third measure. You should recognize this. So that same strumming pattern that we looked at earlier. So that's the third measure. And then the fourth measure, we're doing this double stop, walk down type of thing. And a double stop is just when you play two notes at the same time. So in this fourth measure, this double stop walk down, same deal with the left hand. We're holding down those two notes, that D chord, and we just do 4 quarter notes here. It's just 4 downstrokes in the fourth measure. On that second note, second double stop, you got to put your left middle down. So right here, and then lift the middle up again, and then put the middle down again. So just all left middle finger. So let's play this line one more time, and then we'll move on to the next line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's move on to measures 5 through 8. Sounds like this. So this is a cool line right here. The first two measures on the screen, measures 5 and 6, that is exactly what we played earlier for that strumming, remember? So you should already recognize that part. But then when we get to measures 7 and 8, we're playing this lick right here, this little fill riff. And for that fill riff there, in measures 7 and 8, I'm just using my middle finger, my fretting hand, and that's it. It's all left middle finger there. So let's look at measure 7. There's a slide right there from the 3rd to the 5th fret. So let me count this measure out, measure 7. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then measure 8. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Measure 7 and 8 together. All right, let's play this line one more time and then we'll move on to the next part. Starting at measure 5. Now we're going to go into measures 9 through 12, and here we're switching to a G major chord.